Hey everybody, welcome back. What we are going to be doing today is going through and hooking up Firebase to Cloud Functions. Now, this is a code lab, which I have had very middling success with. I always seem to get stuck at various points when I try to run through it, so I'm going to try to do it again. And I'm hoping that this time is the charm. I don't want to say how many times it has been, but there always seems to be kind of a weird, like, little gotcha with permissions along the way at various points. Now I see that this code lab was updated March 29th. That gives me hope that it is now hopefully working. And now dating this video, but uh, that's just how it is. So what we're going to be doing is using the Firebase SDK and Google Cloud Functions, and we're going to be hooking that into a chat application. So this friendly chat, if you start going through some of the other code labs for Firebase, and I think it's even wormed its way into the quick labs, you will see this friendly chat application. Basically, it's just a little web-based kind of, you know, not an IRC type of chat, but like a nice little chat type of thing. Uses authentication, so we'll get some experience with that. So let's go ahead and get up and running. Now, what we need is okay, so I'm just kind of triple checking what's going on here. We have cloud coupons, which we are using, so don't put your credit card in, as usual. So let's get up and running. Now we need to clone this down locally. So what that means is I need to go ahead and clone friendly chat down. And in here we see a bunch of stuff that we're going to need. Again, it's kind of generic. So we need Cloud Function Start and Cloud Functions. Okay, so we want, I don't want to use an IDE, we'll just use the terminal. I'm just kind of looking through it. This has changed a little bit since I last tried it. Yeah, we'll leave that as is. Okay, we need a new Firebase project. So we're going to call it Friendly Chat. I'm just going to follow exactly along with this because otherwise it's going to be problematic. So we want KKK, analytics. I'm going to leave analytics off because I don't care about any of, well, maybe we need the event cloud-based triggers. Maybe this is what I did wrong. I'm just going to leave that on. Okay, default account. We want, we don't need a new property. Just going to leave that as default. This will create, and then we need to upgrade to Blaze. So this is going to provision down. And then you see the next steps: install the command line interface, deploy and run the app. If you went through and did the hosting demo, this is all hopefully second nature for you all. So we have our application. Let's get our window available here. Scoot you over. All right, settings, usage and billing. We want, how do we change to, okay, so I went to usage and, so project settings, usage and billing. We want Blaze. We want to use our billing account for education, and we will be charged. So it's going to be kind of good to see, honestly. Set a budget or if you are actually paying for this out of pocket for a separate project, it's probably good to have budget alerts. I don't want that. Let me just make sure off screen that I don't have anything coming in because it says we're going to be getting an email. I have not received that email as of yet. Usually they're pretty, pretty Johnny on the spot with their emails. Nothing in spam. A lot of spam, but nothing really in spam. Okay, so I think we're good. So we have our billing account set up. Now, we have upgraded. We need to enable Google Authentication. So we are going to allow people to log into our application with their Google accounts. So let's get started. Let's pick Google. We're going to enable this. And we're going to pick our project support email. It's just whatever your main email is for your Google Cloud account. I'm going to save that. Let's go ahead and change our public facing name too, because project 639 blah blah blah, no one's going to know what that is when we this is what people will see when they go to authenticate with your system. So let's call it friendly chat CIS680, just so that we know what it is. Do I have to disable you first? Okay, apparently it doesn't want me to change that. Friendly chat CIS680. Save. Okay, fine. We also need cloud storage, so we are going to host pictures. So let's click storage. Let's click get started. Here are our default rules. We don't have anything specific that we need to modify here. So we're going to say next. We're going to use US East. Let's go 4. We're going to get a bucket created. We're going to check off screen to make sure that the microphone's working. It is. And hey, look at that. We have a storage bucket. We actually see our gs:// so hopefully familiar territory for you. Now, we are going to get our project up and running. So back to the terminal. This is my local machine, by the way, remember. And if you forgot from last time or you're going out of order, this is Ubuntu on Windows. So this is the new fancy Windows terminal where you can pick, well, you can pick PowerShell command prompt, whatever you have installed. I had Ubuntu 18 already. If you want to do this on straight up PowerShell, there are different installation guides for that. The important thing is you need Node.js and NPM. So I have already run this, but let's just double check that we have it. Actually, I'm not going to do this because I know it's not going to work. Oh, what the heck, we'll do it. Basically, the -g means we're installing it locally. We're probably going to get a rebuild error. What we did last time to fix that was to change the npm user that we are running with. If you want to make sure that CLI is working, do Firebase -- version. Once this is done, I know it works, so I don't need to do that. Okay. I swear npm is just trolling me at this point, because the last time I tried running this after it was installed, it gave me big long list of error messages. But that's fine, it works. Let's double check Firebase -- version 9.8. Perfect. They say above 4.0.0. Firebase Login. Now I'm pretty sure I'm already authenticated. Yep, so I'm already logged in. Let's log out. You don't have to do this, by the way, but I want to show you what the web page is going to look like. So we log out. Let's log back in. We get our URL pop up here, and I think another one pop up here. There we go. Log into Firebase. Yep, all good. We logged in. Now, we want to be in the Cloud Functions Start directory, Firebase, use, add. Basically, this is going to use this project. We're going to set it to our project ID, which is friendly chat, and this is where knowing what the Firebase ID is handy. Choose any agent, alias, use its, let's follow along CodeWeb. So just said pick CodeWeb here, and that's what I did here. Alrighty, now we want to deploy everything except the functions. So Firebase deploy -- except, I can spell, functions. And we should see this get deployed up to Firebase. So we'll get a console URL and a hosting URL. Business as usual if we have done this already. And remember when we did Firebase use, we're going to basically push, or sorry, Firebase deploy, we're going to push whatever's in that public folder. right? So we see kind of a website type of thing there. So here is our URL. Let's go ahead and check that out. Make sure it's working. We have a chat. Hello there. I must sign in first. Aha, we have authentication. Sign in with Google. Interesting. It should have said the name there. I must have not ticked the correct box. Look at that. I'm logged in. Hello there. I have chatted. How neat. So we have basic functionality, and again, the web application under the hood is not strictly the important part, right? Deploy whatever application you want to here. The important part is we have developed something locally and we pushed it up to Firebase to be hosted. All right, so we sign in. We should be able to post some messages too, or sorry, some files as well. So let's go ahead and try that. So I've got this thing from graphics class. Let's see if that works. This is one of the issues that I had last time where the actual images would never post. So, let's see, everything should be enabled. Looks like it's gonna get stuck again. Let's go over to Firebase. Yeah, storage is not happy. Okay, no files. Let's check authentication. Hey, look at that. Here is my user account that has been authenticated. Like I mentioned in the overview, we can very easily handle authentication. I had zero effort to do here. I clicked Enable Google, and it's just storing it locally. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go. We have an alert. Project upgraded. Okay, I know that. Have I gotten some kind of a enable email? Okay, pay as you go has been enabled. Nothing exciting there. Images are still not working. I wonder if there's something wonky going on here, because there should be the ability to add that. Unless it's a file size thing, let's pick a different file. Documents, research, P5, assets, separate. I've got a tiny little smiley face. Yeah, it's not happy with that. That's fine. We can try as we go. There wasn't any modify your code in here, right? So enabled cloud storage. Added that, logged in. Didn't have to modify the sample code. Maybe it's been resolved later on. Okay, so we have deployed and run our app. All right, let's add some functionality. So what we're going to do now, let's clear this out. We're going to interact with Cloud Functions now. So let's go into Functions. So we see a basic website here. We're going to go npm install, and this is going to install whatever's in package.json. So if we take a look inside, so this is going to take a few minutes. Basically, we have a bunch of to-do statements, so they want us to actually go ahead and add code. Import Cloud Functions for Firebase and Firebase admin, add a welcome message, blur some images, add a send notification function. So let's go ahead and get that up and running. Now I'm going to use nano. Again, still haven't fixed my copy and paste. So let's go ahead and under import the SDK, let's copy this in. So we're going to import the functions, import the Firebase admin, initialize our application. Then when a user signs in, we should see a little hello message. Okay, so let's add a function. So we want to go, so let's save this. Let's go back into Firebase, click on Databases. Nope, we want you here, we want you over here. So we want to develop. There is, I guess just Firestore database. Firebase App Console. This is where some of the figures have changed. It just uploaded. Okie dokie. Wow. Okay, so there's probably about a solid 10-minute cut there, and I'm not sure what happened. Things are running slowly for me today. The database didn't exist. My images didn't exist. All of a sudden, I sent another message and they just appeared. So this is something I'd rendered in Blender, just a little plane with the light. We have a little smiley face guy. And I went over to my Firebase console. I clicked Firestore. Here is our document-based dataset collection for everything that has been sent. So basically, this interface looks a little bit different. There is no develop section. It's just Firestore database is what you want to click here. Here is a document-based format. Okay, so we have our messages there. Good, good, good. Now, what we want to do, and the whole purpose of the current step, is we're adding on a message. So in index.js, we want to welcome new users. So basically, we should see a little hello message. So if we update index, write the add welcome messages function here. Can do. It's just basically a callback function here for a bot type of situation. Full name signed in for the first time, welcome. Tweak that as you need. But what we want to do is save this function and redeploy it. Okay, so Firebase deploy only functions. Oops, we want to back up a directory because we need to be in the Firebase same directory as Firebase.json. Firebase deploy -- only functions. We should see a deployment message, deployment complete. So this is going to run here. So Cloud Functions and Cloud Build were not enabled, so it's going to automatically enable that for us, which is delightful. And while this is packaging up and going, I'm going to go back to Authentication, and I'm going to delete my user here because I don't want to sign into another account. Basically what I'm doing is just clearing out the history that I have ever logged into this application. Or I suppose I could just sign out. That would have worked too. But you can manually remove people as well. So deploying, it says it may take a few minutes, so be aware of that. It's taking a little bit of time. What we're going to do is basically just kind of refresh the page. If a welcome message doesn't appear or if you face any issues further on, double check the command line output during the deploy. So that's good to know as well. If you are experiencing problems with this code lab, there is a good chance that something got screwed up along the way. So we see, we're waiting here, but here's where all of our output is going to be. So let's go back to our home here. And we should see our project settings. Oh, we just want to go home. Sorry, we want to go to hosting. Still taking. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we have deployed successfully. Everything is good here. No errors as far as I can tell. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. Now I should be logged out because I deleted myself from the database, or sorry, the authentication database, but we still see the message history. If I wanted to get rid of this, I would go into that message database and go ahead and delete that as well. So let's sign in with Google. Sign in with our account here. And what I should see is a welcome message pop up. There we go. Look at that. This is the furthest I have ever gotten with this code lab. So if I seem a little bit disheveled from here on out, it's the first time that it worked for me. I'm very ecstatic. Okay, so I signed in. Cool beans. All right. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to hook in Cloud Vision to try and see if we can flag something. And there is no way that I'm going to be uploading adult content intentionally here. So we will see, kind of what we can get going here. So let's enable Cloud Vision. So I'm going into Google Cloud here. And I'm going to pop open Cloud Vision, or just Vision. Vision. Sorry, we want to go into the API. Search for Cloud Vision under enable. So Cloud Vision. Now we want to enable it. Icon looks a little different than what you see in here. Well, there is no icon. All right. So now we also have to add some dependencies to our local instance. So we need Google Cloud Vision. We also need child promises. So let's go ahead and install that. Oops, I don't want to do that in here if I didn't break anything. We want this in the functions directory, and now we're in the install. All right, and once this runs, so we should have, okay, that's enabled. Hopefully we don't need any credentials for that. We want to add on some extra information to our index.js inside of our functions directory. Okay, any errors, or are these just vulnerabilities? We'll leave these alone because I don't want to muck too much with npm. So we need vision, we need child process promises, and some information for paths. So let's go ahead and update index. We want this, let's see. Okay, so at the top, that's what I thought. Again, first time I've gotten here, I'm mildly excited. So just some consts to be used later on. And what we're going to do is flag images that users have uploaded as offensive or not. And this is something that's probably very relevant to a lot of you that are developing, kind of anonymous applications where, you maybe want to let the cloud handle some of the oversight. So let's blur some images. And again, not necessarily something super deep that we have to dig into, but we see that we are going to be looking at our bucket for every image that's uploaded, run Google Cloud Vision's service, and see what is the likelihood that it's adult-oriented or violent. And if it is, we're going to blur the image in the chat. So we have gone ahead and done that. Now we're also going to handle the image magic aspect, where we are going to use a library for blurring them. So we also need that. And what this is going to do is it's going to call image magic, which is basically a image manipulation library. We're going to get some console logs to show us what's going on, and we're going to flag it for moderation. Okay, so we have gone ahead and done that. Now, let's go back up a level, deploy again, Firebase, deploy, only functions, because that's the only thing we want to deploy. Now, choose your best offensive image to upload, or you can use this flesh-eating zombie. Okay, I'm gonna open this off screen just in case. All right. Oof. We will go ahead and save this off screen just in case. The image here is basically something out of a zombie apocalypse movie. It shows a zombie eating a human. Definitely violent. Even though this is not marked kid-friendly, I'm not going to show it on screen. So this is going to take a few moments, as with before. I will be back in a moment. Okay, so that was probably about 5 minutes of deployment time. Now, let's go ahead and refresh our page here. Everything still works. Still see our message. Let's go ahead and upload an image. So let me do this off screen. I just want to see if it's going to work. It's uploading. Wow, that's not getting blurred. All right. I'm so glad I went to the pains of making that happen. So if we go into our console log, we have a crap ton of errors. Missing app ID. Did I forget to update something? It's a good possibility. Right. Okay, be right back while I parse through this. I am probably have cut this in a weird spot because I don't want to necessarily show the image just in case. I'm sure you all can handle it. But basically, I did something wrong earlier on, and I want you to understand that in the process I did to fix it. I went into Google Cloud Console, enabled the Vision API. Okay. I must have either done it in the wrong spot or enabled it on the wrong project, because what I did is I went into my Firebase console here, went into functions, checked the logs, whole bunch of permission denied errors. So basically, I need to go ahead and enable this. So let's go here. I must have been in the wrong project or something, because this is very clearly not enabled here. So I'm going to enable this. I have another moment where I jump ahead because I'm going to move screens, and then we will go ahead and come back. So be right back. So just wanted to make sure that the image wasn't there. I'm going to go ahead and clear out all my user cookies, make sure that everything is solid, and now let's get reset here. So no users are logged in. Let's go to our project, make this a little bit bigger so we can see the sidebar. Refresh this page, no documents, no sign in. If we go to Firestore database, I'm going to go ahead and log in. Basically, I'm doing this from scratch, is kind of where we are at. So I'm going to log in. Should see a welcome message pop up. This might take a minute to initialize because it seems to have before. Okay, signed in for the first time. Hello there. If Firebase bot responds with General Kenobi. Haha, he didn't set that up. That'd be a fun extension. All right, so if we refresh this Firestore page now, we should see our message. Okay, perfect. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing this off screen. I'm going to upload my image. And it's still unblurred. It is blurred. Okay. So this would be a good hot fix for you all to make if you wanted. So what I'm seeing happen here is I've got this, it's all faked obviously, but it's nice and realistic looking. Zombie eating a human. I uploaded it and it immediately went through unblurred. Then the cloud function kicked in and blurred it, which is fine. But you don't want to show your users the bad content first. So what it should have been done is held in moderation before it got displayed. So it might be a thing for you all to go ahead and do. All right, last step. Let's go ahead and add some notifications. So maybe so the issue that I'm running into is this new message notification page isn't working for me. It's possible I screwed something up. It's possible that the cloud messaging aspect isn't necessarily working, but if you get it working, let me know in the comments. Be more than happy to know how I screwed up. I'm going to leave it as a exercise to the student, or more likely the person who wrote this code web to fix. But basically, we did a whole lot of stuff here, and I think you can be proud of yourself if you got all of this up and running in one go. So, as always, hope this was helpful for you. Wow, this is now a 60-minute video I need to chop up. See you all next time. Bye, everybody.